You want to?
Okay. Honestly, I want to raise my kids the design yenye. We are friends, like they are open, like they see me wasikuwa na ile fear vile si tunakwanga tumerank our parents ukisema dad amekam ili ni dad ini nini. You see, I want them to actually just be open to me just like a friend, but your respect iko hapo. The respect comes when you know how to carry yourselves around them, when you're always there for them.
Thank you.
But
You've already said it, Jack.
That's me.
You've already said it. It's how you carry yourself, how you relate to them. It's not how ati watakuita. Itasema your friends.
Yeah, that's
it doesn't make sense.
Okay, I'll tell you this.
Yeah.
Jack.
Dad. Jack. This is the thing. This is the thing. I find it interesting. Probably I'm not correcting it. Everybody has the right to do like what they want to do when it comes to parenting. But I find it interesting, like our generation, how we were raised there, and somehow we are looking back at our parents and blaming them on a few things that we are currently now being exposed to and figuring, oh, this is a child wound. We probably don't want to pass it on, and there's this and that and this and that. But I am also of the opinion that we need to extend a little bit of grace to our parents because they didn't know better. Yes. They didn't know much. And then if you really look at the age they were having us, these guys were having us at 21, 22, 24. Like, they're not like us, the way we've actually spent time and then we've...
And we can't even say they didn't know any better because it was what was better for them at their time.
And then if you really think about it, they were kids raising kids. Yeah, they were actually kids raising kids. And then at that particular point, if you look at how the world was, please remember, your time sijui Moi ndiye alikuwa president, As in, you can remember, like the country had fear. The environment was authoritarian, and therefore the military, the police, anybody who had authorities, the teachers and stuff. So authority was like the environment they were in. Freedom was just was a discussion that everybody imagined could happen, but never imagined could happen. You get? So I feel like our parents grew up in fear. Therefore, the only way they could raise us to help us survive was that fear. Because the punishment, if you did not fear the authority, then was death. Okay, because guys used to disappear. Like, if you really look through their history, it was really rough. They grew up in a very rough time. And would you rather have your child being killed because they didn't have that fear? It's like, you don't teach your children that the fire is hot, so they burn. Or the snake is dangerous, so they are bitten. So they would rather teach you that the fire is hot and the snake will kill you. So then you live with that fear, which to them it was survival because it will help protect you. So I feel like that's why we were made to fear police rather than authority. Sindio, we were made to fear teachers. And then if you really think about back in the days, look at how even our neighbors, like it was communal how you raised a child. Like the authority was there. You'd fear your neighbor because they would report on you, and if not even snitching, they would beat you up if they can and then report you later, you know. So I feel like at that particular, if you look at how they raised us, they used fear to protect us. It was not fear for fear's sake. So even dad was authoritarian because there was no other way he could be. But I also feel like for our generation, because now we have been exposed, we have understood what freedom is, we are expressive, we're also at a very high risk of overextending that freedom to our kids to a point that they do not know what boundaries are. And I feel like it's also very important as now young upcoming parents for us to understand that structures are structures, authorities are authority, and sometimes these structures were there to create some level of protection, not only for you but also for the community around you. So my opinion is let's not just carry things because we feel like you want to be a friend to your child, but you'll see this, if you remember your childhood very well, kuna ile stage yenye your mother had to or your father had to use authority for you to actually understand what they are saying. And then now when you look back, you're like, we, mse alikuwa right. But then if they were friendlier to you, because me, I remember there are some neighbors I grew up with, parents who were trying to be very friendly to their kids. And then I saw the results. They were over-friendly, they were trying to be their sisters. And you could see, these were maybe, not saying that that's the case, these were parents who were in denial of their parenthood, in a sense. Like, they didn't want to accept that they are now parents. So they wanted to be, like, competing with their daughters in terms of beauty or, you know, things like that. And you'd see what it meant was, which people don't understand, the kid now took on the role of a parent because they had to be responsible, because there's nobody who is responsible here. You're looking at your parent who is now childish and you're like, So you make a child switch because there's no parent, they switch to become the parent because the parent is not there. And take such examples is, the way they say it, these people who now, I'm not castigating anybody, but you throw bashes in your house and have people come in drinking and stuff, and your kids are there seeing, and they're like, you've lost senses of yourself, your friends. How are these kids supposed to respect you the following day? Yeah, because you see, it's registered, the way it's registering in your head and how it's registering in those kids is totally different. Them, they're looking at it like, why, and when you're like a little bit high and nini, sometimes you lose, and the childhood, the kid in you sometimes can come out, and sometimes can come out in a very rough way. So you can imagine a child who is looking at somebody misbehaving, and
someone
they're like,
they look up to.
It's so confusing for them in their little mind, and then the interpretation, and then from then on, it's difficult for them to master the muscle of respecting you as an authority. So how are you coming to me again telling me, for example, that drugs are bad? How?
Yeah, I get you.
So what I mean is, boundaries are boundaries. I feel like we have a harder, we think we have a simpler role as parents. I think ours is going to be even harder because the community is no longer taking care of the kids for you. So it's you and you. So the value system you put on your child is going to be questioned by so many people, because now everybody has an opinion, not like before we kind of had a collective opinion over what's right, what's wrong. Now, what you think is right in your house, in the next house it's wrong. What you think is wrong in this house is right. So I feel like our kids will have even a rougher time to understand authority, to respect authority, to... It's just, when I think about it in future, like when I see my kids, I see it. I see how they get confused. Like, why is this person unkind? Yet we keep saying people should be kind, or why are these people behaving the way they are behaving? Yet this is... I feel like their lives is going to be way, way difficult, and it's very important for us as parents to now be the ones who ensure that the boundaries are there.
What I can say is that right now it will be so hard to actually ensure all those, because again, the world has changed, it may evolve, a lot of exposure around. You'll try to tell your kid this, but yet I could give reference of 800 other kids who are doing totally different thing, and it's working for them. So right now I can say it will be quite tough, but what I always put to myself is that me ndafanya the best that I can. Past that, I think it's beyond me, and I did what I had to do, lived my beats, gave them the best that I could, and after that, if they
find out their own things,
let them find the world.
The same way you don't follow some of the values that our parents instilled in us. You came up with you experienced the world, you came up with your own.
But you cannot negate from the fact that those values were foundations.
They were.
Bila foundation, friend, you're done.
And some we still live by, even if we don't say
bila kama respect your authority bado iko kusimamisha ngana sansi hata ufikiriangi. Unasimama. It's like
ina depend kama una pesa utazima.
Hata kama uko na pesa unasimamanga. Alafu
beautiful.
But anyway, that was a lovely episode. Anything that you'd want to share with fathers, upcoming fathers who advise when you wanaogopanga wanahepa when you bado wako hapo hivyo.
That's a different story.
Kuna wenye wako katikati hawako sure kama kuhepa wasihepe,
What I can say ni hii si kitu. Okay, we always fear kwa sababu tunaona ni gani hard. Hautawezana, unajua sasa unaleta mtu mwingine anafaa kukula, anafaa kufanya nini? Hizo ndio fear watu kwa nazo. Diapers nini? But I came to realize all these things unaweza. Unaweza in the sense that you personally, you go to the club, you drink 2K. 2K imetosha hata kubaya mtoi diapers
za 2 weeks.
Quarter, man.
Sindio.
That's 2 weeks. That is longer than that.
True.
Next weekend bado tunaenda kukunywa tena 2K. Hiyo 2K ya next month, ya next week yani buy clothes nini, mafuta nini, mtu yako at ease. Wewe utajibamba bado. Hiyo next weekend wewe ndo ukui.
The club is not going anywhere.
Jibambe. Katikati hapa it's okay. I felt it's simple because again before then I got a family, me at least nilikuwa naishi na wase, like kulikuwa na watu my sisters, I used to stay with them. So I used to see kama nilikuwa naona if niko na capability ya kuweka watu kukana mimi, why shouldn't I have my own?
Nice.
If they're feeding on kenye mimi niko nayo, pia wangu tu watakuwa tu poa. And yeah, I can say anakulanga na shibanga, pia mimi nakushiba. Si wote tuko sawa, we barely. So it's sare bado utapiga na itakuwa sasa unapiga ile una feel poa, watu wako fiti alafu bado pia uko fiti.
Yeah.
That's one thing muko proud of.
Well done. Even me, I'm proud of you for that.
Yeah.
One last
really
question.
Nice. Okay.
One last one. Okay. At least you've said what you'd wish to tell fathers, upcoming fathers. Just one controversial question that I'm asking. For the last one, I promise.
Okay.
You've had your child young.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see where this is
You
going.
see where it's going? Would you say it's better to have your children as a man young? Because for women also, you know, sisi tunakuanga na clock. Kanafanya hivi. Nyie mnanga, lakini tu nauliza.
Okay.
Is it better to have your kids younger as a man or waiting longer to have your child? Is it something that men think about?
Okay. I can say majority of men, I was part of that group. Nearly left your group too.
By accident.
But
Oh my God.
But
We'll cut
anyway.
it.
Ulikuwa nusu nusu.
But anyway, majority of us men, we always want mtu akikam, mtu anakuja saa zile tumejiorganize. Na kujiorganize in the sense that we have everything figured it out. Hata tunajua we can't always have it, but at least tunataka everything iko in check.
Okay.
Alafu pia we always have something in our mind we have the luxury of time with us, man. We don't, hatuna pressure.
I know, right?
At 50 years, I can still start my life at 50.
Starting
Yeah.
with a 2-month-old.
Yeah, nah.
50, you're battling menopause.
I know.
Bro, I mean, at 50 bado
Hata 90 uko tu hapo Abraham.
hapo bado naendelea. But you see,
Yes.
again, the advantage pia, you need advantage. Okay, the advantage ya ku start it when you're young. You'll grow up with your kid pia ata enjoy your youthful time, unaona? Ata enjoy akijua mimi unajua budangu zile kuna siku alikuwa anacheza sisi anakimbia, but sasa hivi unakiona hata kiezi songa. Relax tu. Unaona?
Visiting mbuyu anatoka na kikijiti kwa anakuja kukutembelea.
Because mimi nakumbuka, okay, I can say my dad pia alikuwa old because I think mimi nikizaliwa my dad was 40 something. Na mimi unajua nilikuwa naona watu wako na parents wangu na shanga, huyu ni mzazi mgani huyu? This is my sister. Because like my sister na
That's not a parent.
mimi sikuona huyu ni parent. Ningeona auntie tuko wadogo, aunties wote walikuwa big plus. Ungekuwa unasema auntie yako ni uko like,
It makes sense.
come on.
It's not registering.
But again, I used to see them, they're enjoying because their aunties wangerelate now sana, their parents wangerelate na vitu zenye wanataka. Budangu ana keep track na all things. Hizi vitu sasa inge take time convince akulete kitu. But for the rest ilikuwa so easy kwa sababu their parents wametoka to your age. So having it young ni poa cause again uta give a lot to your kid, but pia having it late si mbaya cause again uta spoil your kid.
Thank you so much, Jack. That was
Thank
lovely.
you.
We wish you all the best in your fatherhood journey. Uleta wengine ukiweza.
Yeah, bado sijafunga factory, still working on
Factory.
new ones. Yeah.
New product.
New product.
Yes.
Hatutaki kufunga hii kazi sasa hivi. Yeah, we're still there.
Hiyo ni vizuri kuchua. Serikali. Our debt will be paid.
Thank you
Courtesy.
so much, guys. Thank you, Jack. Thank you, Velma. Thank you, everyone who's watching this video. This will be our first YouTube video, so kindly subscribe. We're going to be those people.
No, we are saying down there.
Subscribe, hit the like button,
Share.
share. It will help our channel grow and all the good stuff that you
All those things she said no.
But you've forgotten to
No.
hit the notification button.
Or hit the notification button.
That's the
What
first
else are we
thing
hitting?
you should
What else are we hitting?
Subscribe.
Subscribe. But
Yes,
thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.